I always believed the future would be full of answers. Flying cars, shining cities, maybe even the cure to death itself. But when I jumped forward, 200 years, the world gave me only silence. When I opened the hatch of my time pod, the first thing that hit me was the stillness. No traffic, no voices, not even the distant hum of electricity, just the wind scraping between the empty towers. I stepped out, my boots crunching on broken glass. The city I once knew was hollow. The streets stretched endlessly, filled with rusted cars and skeletons of skyscrapers. Windows shattered, doors hanging from their hinges, signs bent and unreadable. I shouted, "Hello? Anyone?" My voice echoed down the street, bouncing back at me again and again, until it sounded like a dozen voices, mocking me, but no one answered. I forced myself to walk further. With each block I expected something, anything, a person, a stray animal, even a rat. But there was nothing. Not a bird in the sky, not a single insect. The future was empty. And then I saw it, a flicker, high above on a rooftop. Something moved. Just a shadow, quick, like a figure darting out of sight. I froze. I wanted to believe it was my imagination, that my mind was already playing tricks on me in this wasteland, but deep inside, I knew. I wasn't alone. As night began to fall, the city grew colder, the silence grew heavier. It pressed against my chest until every breath hurt. I ducked into an old diner, hoping to find shelter. Inside, the booths were overturned, cups shattered on the floor, and on one table, a newspaper, crumbling with age. The headline barely visible, Year 2089, Global Evacuation Declared. I muttered under my breath, "What the hell happened here?" That's when I noticed it. Across the far wall, a shadow stretched long and distorted, too long, too twisted, but there was nothing there to cast it. I ran. My footsteps echoed through the streets, but no matter how far I went, I felt eyes on me. Finally, I saw the entrance to a subway tunnel, half buried in rubble. I climbed down, my flashlight flickering. The air below was thick, stale. The walls were damp, covered in peeling paint. Old posters flapped weakly in the draught. And then I heard it. Not footsteps, not whispers. Breathing, slow, heavy, just ahead of me in the dark. My heart hammered. I raised my flashlight. The beam shook as it caught movement. Something impossibly tall, a thin figure sliding along the wall. Its limbs were too long, its shape wrong. It melted into the darkness the second my light touched it. I stumbled backward, whispering, "Who's there?" No answer, only the sound of metal scraping and something crawling closer. I bolted up the stairs, my lungs burning. Behind me, the walls came alive with shadows, dozens of them, racing along the tunnel, moving faster than I could run. When I burst onto the street, the sky itself had changed. Black tendrils curled across the clouds, spreading like veins, as if the heavens were rotting. I didn't know where to go, but I found myself stumbling into an old library. The place was falling apart, shelves broken, books scattered, dust everywhere, and in the corner, a cracked holographic screen, still flickering with a recording. Static hissed, then a voice, distorted but clear.
"The silence is not absence. It is them. Don't let them hear you."
I froze, my blood running cold. Them. The shadows shifted around me, sliding across the walls, stretching across the floor. I wasn't alone in the library. I never had been. When the flashlight flickered, I finally saw them. They weren't just shadows. They were alive. Tall, faceless figures, their bodies rippling like smoke, their jaws opening wider and wider, jagged voids where mouths should be. They crawled on the ceiling, on the walls, circling me like predators. They made no sound, only silence, and that was worse than screaming. I ran. I tore through the streets, their shapes sliding behind me, always just out of reach. My pod, my only chance, was still where I left it, glowing faintly. I sprinted for it, lungs burning, but just as I reached the hatch, a massive shadow hand burst from the ground. It wrapped around my leg, cold as ice, dragging me back. I screamed, clawing at the pod, fingers brushing the controls. The machine powered on, light engulfed me, and then darkness. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in my own time, the city alive with traffic, people walking, laughing, shouting. Normal life. I staggered forward, relief flooding through me. But then I noticed something. Their shadows. They didn't move right. They lagged behind their bodies, stretching, twitching, bending the wrong way. And when I turned to look at my own shadow, it wasn't mine anymore. I escaped the silent future, but I didn't come back alone. They followed me here, and now they're waiting for all of you.
If you like this video, like, share, comments, and subscribe my channel.